Thanks for joining me again. So the last video I did, if you haven't already watched it, was on the DJI Neo 2. That video is already up, so I could post a link for you, or just look under my channel. Should be there. So today, if you don't recognize this one, it's the DJI Air 3, actually the Air 3S. Is it a drone for you? Is it the best all-round drone? It kind of sits in the middle between some of the other mini drones and the Mavic series. It actually sits in the middle in terms of size, price, and features. Now some of the mini drones, like the Mini 5, it's actually kind of catching up to this one in some areas. But there are some areas, of course, that the mini series can't compete with a larger drone. Here we go, DJI Air 3S. Anybody who already has one will recognize this gimbal cover is not the stock gimbal cover, because the one that actually comes with the drone, it's kind of difficult to take off, put on, so I swapped it out for an aftermarket gimbal cover. So right away with the Air 3S, you'll notice that it looks pretty much the same as the mini series, if you have a mini series already. It's just larger in dimension, folds out the same way, the arms. Here we go. So it opens up the same way, folds up to go in the bag. You'll notice the gimbal on this one, the cameras, it has dual cameras. It has actually I think it's a 48mm and a 70. I think that's what the Air, sorry, 24 and 70. It's right on the gimbal. So yeah, you have a 70mm telephoto and a wide angle. Up to 3 times optical zoom. And then of course you have digital zooms up to, I think it's 9, something like that. But I don't use the digital zoom whatsoever. Kind of find it useless for taking photos, videos. The quality is just not there. So stick with the optical. So if you look at this one, like I said, compared to the Neo, or compared to a mini drone, you can see the difference in size. So obviously this one is a lot heavier. I think it's 724 grams, something like that, compared to the the Mini 4 Pro, which I have here. It's rated for 249 with the normal batteries. You can get an extended range battery for this one, or battery plus it's called. That one will bring it up over the 249 mark. So if you want to stay under the 249, stick with the regular batteries. And with this particular drone, I bought the Flymore Combo. I suggest, if you're buying a drone for the first time, buy the Flymore Combos, whichever one is in your price range. The difference is usually the controller. So when I bought this one, it actually came with the N3 controller, it's called. So this one, you need your phone. Your phone snaps in here, you plug it in, and you use the DJI Fly app on your phone. Bit of a hassle, for me anyway it was. Just a setup time. You have to use your phone, obviously, for the screen. So, yeah, it's a great starter. Nothing wrong with it. But I did find it a little bit, like I said, time consuming to set up initially. And when you get to the field, you want to fly, take your phone out, plug it in, make sure your phone is charged, and make sure the controller is charged, all that. So I actually went from there and purchased the RC2, which has the screen. Now I don't have that one here at the moment. My stepson is actually using that one with his Neo 2. But it's very similar to that one, only it has a screen built in. Now there is an upgraded controller that comes in at like 3 times the price probably of the RC2. If you want to go that far with it. As a beginner, I wouldn't recommend. The newest controller is actually, this one here is an RC2 Pro. It's it's very expensive. I wouldn't recommend, like I said, for a starter. But a startup time, it's almost instantly on. The screen is larger. It's a 7-inch diagonal, I think, instead of like a 4 for the RC2. The screen tilts for portrait mode. All that. So I won't concentrate too much on the controller at the moment. This is more to do with the drone. So we'll just shut this one off again. So yeah, with the Flymore Combo, getting back to that, you get the drone, you get a controller. Depending on which combo you get the RC2 or the N3. You get the batteries and the battery hub, charging hub. The other thing that came with this particular Flymore Combo was the ND filters. You also get the bag. So right here you'll see the bag that it comes with, the carry bag. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera focusing in here. So yeah, it's a decent quality bag. I don't use it at all. I have a hard shell case, waterproof case, and I purchased them for all my drones. The actual drone itself, it does have LiDAR, very good low light qualities, 1-inch sensor, obstacle avoidance is great. It has what's called advanced return to home. So I think the Mini 5 has it also now. This drone had it before the Mini 5, so it was kind of new at the time. So it'll find its way back. Say, I can let it set my drone flying from my garage. And it'll fly out the garage door, between cars, around a tree, and several obstacles. And I can fly it up to the height I want, do my trip around, however long I want to fly. When I hit return to home, it'll actually find its way back. And it'll find its way back to any obstacles and go right back to the garage and land where it set off from. So I'll show you that sometime once I actually get outside and I'm able to use the drone. So yeah, some of the other features, like I said, the telephoto zoom, you have a 70mm 3x optical zoom lens. I use that a lot, and I think you'll find that very useful in a lot of situations where you don't want to get close to a subject. For instance, if you're looking at wildlife, you don't want to get too close. I mean, you don't want to disturb the wildlife for one thing. It'd be a nuisance. But also, I mean, obviously the sound of a drone is fairly loud, so you're going to scare some wildlife away. Telephoto lens, you can zoom right in, and you don't have to get too close to it. Or if you're trying to film, moving objects, vehicles, anything. If it's windy and we don't want to get too close to, say, a cliff or a tree line or something, or a mountain, you can use your telephoto lens and zoom in. And it is one of the features that sets it apart from, say, the Mini series, right? So the Mini series doesn't have the dual lens. Obviously, you get up to the Mavic, they do. The Mavic 4 Pro has 3 lenses, but this one has 2. But obviously, you're paying for those 3 lenses also, right? 4K HDR video, 10-bit D-Log-M. But if you prefer to color grade and get the highest quality picture, D-Log-M is there and available to use. As you can see, like I showed you earlier, the size difference and the weight is just massive. Once I get them outside, I'll open them up and show you side by side. I just don't have the room or the table space here right now to open all the drones up. But you can see, like I said, just by this side by side, the difference in the weight, right? So the Air 3S battery actually probably weighs as much as the Mini 4 Pro. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But that weight, it does really help when it comes to wind. This thing is so, it's very steady up to, I've had it in winds up to probably 40 kilometers an hour. It doesn't flinch. I mean, it just flies perfectly. The video is stable, totally usable. So it's a big difference over the Mini series. I wouldn't fly the Mini over 30 kilometers an hour at most in wind speed. And in air speed, like the this thing can probably, I don't know what it's actually rated for in terms of speed, but in sport mode, you can probably get 70, 80 kilometers an hour out of the Air 3S with, you know, with no headwind or anything. And again, when I get it outside, I can actually test that and do some screen grabs for you, showing the actual speed. And I will do some range tests on all the drones, actually, once I get outside, if the wind ever stops. So that's the basics of the Air 3S. You know, the flight time is another advantage. The Air 3S over the Mini 4 Pro. I mean, the Air 3, I normally get approximately 30-35 minutes to a battery. I think DJI claims up to 45 minutes, but not wrong. I think it is. I get, like I said, 30-35 max. But again, that's kind of normal when you look at DJI's estimates on flight times. They're all kind of overestimated, and they're in perfect lab conditions, I assume, and maybe they receive 45 minutes one time out of 100 tests. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, don't expect to get 45 minutes, but you should get 30-35 minutes, no problem at all. So yeah, like for the price, it is middle of the road price range. I wouldn't, maybe not as a first drone, to get something this big for the price is probably overkill for most people, unless you have, say, a business and you require something that's more stable in wind and you don't want to lose, you don't have any downtime, say if you're inspecting roofs or, I don't know, but any kind of business where, like I say, you want to be able to fly in the majority of conditions. So obviously you'll be able to fly this a lot more than this when it comes to wind. Other than that, it's the features, like I said, it's very close to the Mini 5. Now when I bought this one, the Mini 5 didn't exist. If it did, I still probably would have went with this one just because I have the Mini 4 Pro already. I think it may be only the Mavic that comes with an actual charger. The kits like the Air 3S, the Mini 4 Pro, the Neo, they don't come with a charger. Now this one here is a DJI 65 watt charger. It's probably the minimum I would purchase if you're going to purchase a charger. Now it doesn't have to be DJI, don't get me wrong. I bought this one mostly for the controllers. For this particular drone, it'll charge up to, I think, 100 watt. That's the maximum input. So this one is actually a little small for charging the batteries for this one. As you can see, the batteries are kind of huge. So I actually bought another charger. This is a fairly cheap charger. It's an Anker, maybe $30. But it has 3 outputs. A 100 watt charger, Air 3S, minimum. If not, it just gets frustrating waiting for the batteries to charge. It still takes quite a while to charge, even with 100 watt. I mean, it takes maybe 2 hours to charge all 3 from empty to full. Maybe even longer from empty, because I rarely ever go empty on the battery. So you can see, press once, you'll get a reading. This one is full, obviously. The combo also comes with a couple of spare propellers. The nice thing about these, they're the snap-on propellers, not like the 3S, not sorry, the 3S, the Mini 4 Pro. The Mini 5 Pro now has the same type as this. As if you're familiar with the Mini 4 Pro, they actually have screws. And they're a bit of a hassle, to be honest. They're pretty small screws. Now, luckily, the replacement propellers for these come with extra screws, because if not, you're guaranteed to lose some of these at some point. But these here, no screws, no screwdriver required to change the props, which is really nice in the field. If you want to change how to set, you don't have to. You just push down, twist, and they pop right off. So if you liked the video, let me know. If you think it's for you, you're not sure, drop me a comment, ask. The features and everything I'll post on the screen wherever I can. you like the video, subscribe, like, send me a question, comment. By all means, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.